of excitement with working out, that's so powerful. Like, that's what's making me want to go back every time I want to stream and do this. That's what makes me like sad when I miss a stream. Like, I don't know about y'all, but if you're like attached to this, it's that like feedback of working out and getting hyped about stuff that makes me not ever want to stop playing this game.
What is up, gamers? I had a really fun convo with Nowhere, who is a really fun Twitch streamer, part of the smrequest.com community, really extroverted, outgoing, and just has a great time with the stream. And so he thought it would be a great idea if we got together and chatted about game streaming, since I don't know, we have a pretty similar approach in that we like to stream because it's fun. And so hope you enjoy this convo where we just talk about all the things that we like about streaming, especially as it pertains to streaming StepMania. So this helps you get into it. Cool. We were trying to share kind of what we love about it individually, and see where we come together. And let us know in the comments what you liked about it. Who else should I talk to? I think, this was really cool. Nowhere just kind of approached me and was like, hey, this is something that's meaningful to me and I would love to talk to you about it. Great. Happy to do that. Do you have an idea like that? Hit me up. So I am Dimo. You're at my stream, my channel. Very excited to have you here. Not the usual content. You may have on YouTube. For those of you watching on YouTube, hello. I'm also Demo on YouTube. Demo Extremo on YouTube. Bro Meat on Twitch, if you're trying to be really specific. You may have seen this conversation I did with Root Reducer earlier, and it was received very positively. I got so many comments on it on YouTube, offline, in my server, whatever. I'm really glad that resonated with you all. I think it's just really important to me to just like highlight people in the community that I think are really cool and that we could learn a thing or two from. And so I'm back at it again, except this time we're doing it live. Cue Bill O'Reilly meme. So this is happening live on Twitch right now if you're on YouTube. So next time, maybe try that instead, because maybe we'll have some funny bloopers I'm going to cut out. You'll never know because you weren't here. Okay, but to that effect, another one of these cool people that a lot of you may not know is someone that goes by the name of Nowhere. And so I want them to introduce themselves. And so, Nowhere, welcome to the stream.
Hello, everybody. So you can call me Nowhere. I run a Twitch stream called Nowhere Dance Club, and I am I've been streaming rhythm games for 3 years, and I'm really excited to talk to you about why I shout about this game all the time. Like, if you have seen me from ITL, first off, hello. Quantifiable differences are great, and I love this game so much. So I uh, I play a lot of different styles of dance game on my stream. I play a little bit of DDR. I play a little bit of ITG, occasionally some mods. So I really enjoy being a jack of all trades. And the stream is always evolving and it's always about having fun for me. So the topic that I'm bringing to y'all today is kind of building healthy habits and gamifying your workout. And I feel really passionate about this. I started streaming for simple reasons and it evolved into so much more. But just want to say hi to everyone joining in. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to both of us. So welcome, everybody.
Yeah, well said. Thanks for introing us. Yeah, so I like to start this way with Root as well, but like tell us about your history with dance games. Like how'd you get into dance games? And then maybe you can talk about, how you discovered the like custom StepMania ITG world, and because that's a whole nother chapter, I'm sure. So walk us through, give us the overview of Nowhere.
Sure. So I started uh, playing DDR at home. That was my first exposure to this when I was a teenager. Had friends of mine who had the Xbox mix of Max 2, if or it was Ultra Mix 2. It's so long ago that the mix didn't really matter. It's the memories of playing like Suguru on the soft mat with some of these friends that stuck with me years later. So, jump to 2020. As many of us entered this scene as we were feeling kind of at home, stuck, and like inactive, I also jumped onto Twitch trying to find connection in a hobby that I knew I had fun as a pastime before, but it was just kind of like a casual hobby. Uh, as soon as I found folks like, used to watch a streamer called DDR Dave all the time. Also watched a lot of streams from Zankara, and those people were so inviting and so kind with their time. And I just got immediately interested in grabbing a pad myself and trying it. So, cue to 3 years ago, I start out with a soft pad. Uh, I start out with a little bit of like trying to make the production something special. I grabbed a green screen first off because I was like, I'm going to make it look like I'm in space. And from that, I discovered how much I loved making my own little TV studio and making this game something fun to watch. So from there, I start building up what Nowhere Dance Club is. I love this bit, but it's so casual. It's just really an excuse for me to make. Uh, oh, we're getting a little static, guys. Sorry.
You're fine
Hold
now.
on
You're
just
fine
a
now.
sec.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, good, good. But I started getting into the tech scene after talking with folks, and from there, I got introduced to ITL. Uh, through all of these people who are really accommodating and making resources available, I found Discord to be like my hub for like finding all of these folks and chatting with them about a passion project. And then we'll touch on a little bit of this later, but I love making this game about like feeling like I'm in a studio of artists, and I focus so much on creating content and hosting and being a community advocate also, that I don't think I'm going to ever want to stop playing this game. Like, this community rules. I love all of these awesome projects that people are on. It's inspired me to reach out into like I one of my projects in the past couple years that really cemented this for me was I run SimFile custom creation contests with a couple other folks. I do hosting. I do uh, like I get to use my graphic design powers for good and make like pack assets and all of these important pieces of the puzzle and be an artist like I want to be and get a cool workout in with like music that I'm growing to love. So it's all just this positive feedback loop of like, I'm just so happy every time I get to do a stream for this. Like, if you are familiar with my stream, I am like boisterous, goofy. I'm in it more for the fun than the score most of the time. But still, like, that is what keeps me coming back to the game and why I like really enjoy what I found is like a hobby. It's become like a passion now. So
Yeah, I love how you phrase that because I just see so there's so much that like for those of you that don't know a lot about me myself either, like I feel like you and I are so similar in that like well the enjoyment we get out of the game, like you know you talked so much about like you're never gonna stop like serving this community. Like it's just so fun, and you're so inspired by what other people make. Like I could have said the same exact things. From everything from like we run our own simfile contests or just like packs, right? Like, yeah, I think it's just like we like doing silly, stupid shit on our streams because it's just like why not? Like it's fun. Um, and so yeah, I think it's just like it's just like I feel like we're really kindred spirits, and I think that yeah, our just like Root and I when we did our convo on my channel, not live, it was just a call that turned into a video. That was our first time talking face to face, and so for Nowhere and I, this is our first time talking to face to face. But we did do a little bit pre-stream, but this is still the first day we really spoken face to face. But I do feel like you're a kindred spirit. So, yeah, I think that that's a good segue into like the main things that you DM me about like, hey, like would this be an interesting conversation topic? And my answer was heartily, heavy-handed yes, definitely. Which is like, well, geez, where to start? But the segue really comes from doing what you love, right? So I think that that's the segue. So doing what you love, let's consider streaming being something that one could love. I love playing the game. I want to share that with someone. ITL, which is the biggest tech custom StepMania event that we have for accuracy, that's going to be starting up very soon. And maybe a lot of new people are going to be like, I want to try streaming for the first time, right? I love this game. I love ITL. I want to share my story, my progress with other people. Where do we start with kind of like what that's like? Because you and I have both been there.
It's an interesting feeling, and it's like most new things gonna feel awkward at first to be talking to an empty room to like amp yourself up in some of these situations, but yeah, it's so fun. I like one of the talking points I have here is that the best part about streaming is depending on how you conduct it, it can just become this awesome positive feedback loop that really gets me into doing the workout every time. Like, I love that I have like rituals behind this. I've made setting up for stream kind of like something fun for myself. I'm like including goals in my like focus on stream and keeping it flexible. Like talk more about that as we get into some of these other topics, but really the start has to be that I want to make this physical activity something fun and community oriented. Like I think people stream for lots of different reasons. And like you have to ask yourself, do you want like a very active like communication with people? Do you want to have like just someone who's spotting for you? Is it going to be less of a focus? If you start to like think about how you want to conduct the workout, you can make the stream support you in whatever way you need to get into that workout every day, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
completely.
fun. I really enjoy that this brought me from like as I grew up, I had ups and downs with staying active. And things that were like going to the gym. I used to do a lot of cycling when I was younger. Those things were great, but looking back, I like couldn't keep the momentum. Streaming is the momentum. It's so good. Like please try it if you the barrier to entry can be scary, but I started this with zero programming knowledge, computer knowledge. I was like, oh, I know like my art programs. That's it. Like it is so much fun and you don't have to be perfect right out of the box. Some of my best memories are from when it is the crunchiest moments on stream. Like you begin to have like friends who will be there to be those spotters if you're trying to push people who will encourage you to keep going, people who will challenge you, all stuff that you can do from your living room or wherever you stream. Like, why not? Right? It's so much fun. Like, a lot of what we talk about these days in ITL servers and what I talk about with players is like rivalries. Who wouldn't want to be like score battling with people? The game now supports that, and like it's
Absolutely
so
agree.
like
Yeah.
seriously fun. Like I
Yeah,
could gush about this forever.
I cannot give a bigger shout out as far as like my own playing and motivation and enjoyment and literally every positive word that goes with like StepMania or ITG Mania as we all mostly play now. Than this idea of friendly rivalries. Like I think that like, and I think that streaming is a great tool, like you were suggesting, in like aiding that. Like if you want to really enjoy the game, I think that socially is probably the number one way. Like I know starting off in DDR, like whatever, 23 years ago at this point, I'm so old, guys. Like I learned how to not be shy and approach people and ask for my turn or play with people or make new friends that like the game I liked at the arcade when I was a teenager, etc. Right. And yeah, and I'm bringing you in
Totally.
here. And I think it's like, I think that going back to the rivalry thing, my favorite part about last ITL was Chance being in my stream while I was trying to beat him for fourth place. Like he was encouraging me to beat him. Like, do you like that is like transcendent like camaraderie. Like that is so cool. Like I was just like so floored. And like just like I felt love. You know what I mean? Like that's incredible.
Talk about getting amped up. Like I have uh I have had as part of my focus, like I'll set goals for clears, even though I'm not as focused on score. And those moments when you like break through and learn something, it's so fucking awesome when chat is like moving a mile a minute and is like cheering you on. I think I spend more time in chats just kind of hyping people up than I do playing. But I mean, it's so fun. I want to see what people are up to. I am the guy who is like walking to every single studio in the art class trying to see what people are up to. I I spoke in front of my graduating class about being like community driven and leaders of our own flock, and like we got to be the driving force to like make the positivity happen. So if I have it to spare, I'm gonna be in chats like cheering people on. So uh,
Yeah, totally agree with that. I think that's half the fun. Like I think, um, yeah, I keep telling Vincent how excited I am to just like have the group ITL sessions, just because like the Bay Area, we're so saturated with good players, developing players, new players, DDR players, like pump players. Like we just literally have dance gamers galore. And so, like, how fun to get like a DDR only player to pass their first 11 or like watch them quad their
yeah,
first 9 or do their first bracket or whatever. It's like that is like being able to not necessarily always be there in person but share that digitally is like I agree. I love being there. I my love language is definitely teasing. So if I am in there teasing you, also know that it's out of love. Though I'm this is more rare, but I promise I'm really wholesome and supportive. I just also really love giving people a hard time because that's my sense of humor. So, but yeah, it's so
fun.
fun. I love seeing people. We talk about this like we our like top 5 group. Like I have like a chat with like the top 5 ITL because I'm trying to get them to come hang for a tournament at my house at some point. But um, you know, we always say like seeing other people achieve their goals and other people do the like hit the milestones is motivating for people who have like you may think have no more goals, but just goes infinitively, if that's a word.
Totally. Like I even on the smaller scale, like I vividly remember early on in last ITL, I think that was when Root Producer joined us for a little more active play. That was incredible seeing someone go from I am learning something with deliberate practice, watch the deliberate practice video. I had so much fun sharing that with someone. And if I can give any like bigger of an ad for streaming, it's like you get a sense of camaraderie and community that I felt like was sorely missing in my like in my workouts, in my exercise, in my life. Like I was worried, like, do I know how to like make friends online? Like it's easy, guys. Just commit to like a regular schedule and like get in people's minds of like when you're going to be live. If that's a great tip, by the way. Having flexible but quantifiable goals and times help build that stream so much. And like all of us know, like it fluctuates. But I was so happy to be able to catch Root on the regular, like streaming his like learning process. It made it that positive feedback loop for everybody. And like we're all just hyping each other up, man. It's great.
Can I just say, my candidly, my most watched streamer in the Twitch Wrapped for last year was Root Reducer. Um, so I again, it's like addicting, right? I agree with CMMF in the chat, which I can fancily pull up in this scene. But yeah, Root's progression did inspire the entire scene. Like I feel like one reason why you'll see all kinds of people in Root stream is like a really nice dude and wholesome dude, and then also just like is showing that like with practice and like just being kind of putting yourself out there, like being live, streaming, and which he was to an empty crowd often, to start with, which like you and I were as well, which I would love to talk about. But yeah, I think it's like it's just interesting. It's like yeah, you just kind of build up like the ITG player base is very supportive. So it's like if you just show up and you're just you, and hopefully you is like a halfway reasonable, decent human being, you will get the outreach.
Totally. And like I am a firm believer that uh there is like something to be said about bringing like multiple communities together. So a lot of the time, I dance between like projects, and it brings me into like I'm about to like download ECS for the first time,
Oh
East
yeah,
Coast Stamina, and like haven't talked to like anyone in these servers, but like there's so much going. Like I think Gintax said this earlier. There's something, always something to do when you boot up the game. Like
yep,
seriously,
for real.
there is like I gained a lot of my momentum streaming over time because of that involvement and like what I touched on earlier with Simfile, like content creation was one that really got me talking to a lot of different people and involved in some projects I never would have thought I'd be involved in. I use request system on my stream that a lot of our dance game friends work together to make. It became this incredible community where these coders and players wanted something to bring chat involvement in a way that was unique and make it a little bit more of a collaborative experience talking about the game on stream. That is so cool. And it's just 2 to 3 people working on code and people that are supporting them with outreach, art, charts, all of this stuff. Like it grows so fast and is so exciting that like the momentum just builds on the streams, and as you plan things, as you get into things like contests, events, you're going to meet people that are going to want to work with you and help build you up. And then the streaming, even though it is kind of, we're building up the workout when we talk about like the event, but getting out there doing it 5 days a week is tough. Like you kind of need that motivation to like keep going. So I think keeping quantifiable goals and flexible goals is important to keep streaming, especially to a low or no crowd. Like I memed about this when I put the image out for the talk, but I stream with followers and views off on my monitor. I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think that's a bad strategy necessarily. Like we were talking about this when we were getting warmed up a little bit, but like yeah, when I started 4 years ago, I would do the same honestly because it's discouraging. It's like you're, you know, it's a spectrum, right? You're either discouraged or you're anxious because you feel like you have to perform. Like there's 20 people. Like imagine 20 people in your room. Like oh my god, like it's so stressful. So either no one cares or you know I'm a loser, or it's like oh my god, all these people are watching. So maybe that's relatable, but I think that that's like you know there's an important psychological topic on this topic called social facilitation, which is quite interesting. I don't have to get into it right now, but it's like I've talked about it on my stream before. But yeah, I think that this is a really so yeah. So did you want to talk more about that? Like why? Yeah, why do you mute both? Why do you hide both?
yeah, like it's in the end, I have hit a stride where I, even with no chat interaction, I kind of talk myself through my workout a lot of the time. Uh, Most of it is because uh, I'm learning right now, and it's a great study tool. But also, I I feel so comfortable and happy being like a commentator, a narrator, and like it is fun for me. And even if that isn't part of like what resonates with you, like just having a clear expectation on stream, like you get to set that pace for what it's going to be. So I know some people who don't talk at all, and I see them streaming on the regular. I know some people who just chatting for like 10 minutes between songs. I may be that person, but it is like going to fluctuate every day too. Like you may have days where only one person stops by, but I have both been that one person and been in the room streaming with one person in chat. Uh, to both people, it means a lot. And people watching the VOD later, it might mean a lot. So I like to treat a live camera as like, okay, I'm still talking to some of my great friends no matter when I'm playing. And they will stop by when they have time. Like the thing about streaming that I think turns a lot of people off at first is watching streams is a little ephemeral. People are going to have fluctuating time a lot of the time. And it's healthy to keep that in mind because while you have carved out time for your stream, which is why schedules are important, not everyone's going to have that same alignment with schedule. And we all have those like inner thoughts of like, oh my God, people aren't here. Crap. What is happening? Am I doing something wrong? And it's hard to dispel. And that's what I really like having stuff like Discord for and conversations off of stream to supplement a little bit. Uh, we're all kind of ships in space passing by each other, but at least we have ways to communicate. Like, I know the space pun is my favorite because when I started streaming, it felt like I was in an empty room by myself. But now I have like this whole rhythm game universe of people
Mm-hmm.
that I really enjoy connecting with. So, like, keep with it. keep trying it and try and have those quantifiable goals and flexibility that let you have fun with being live on camera.
I
It
love
makes a
that.
difference.
It's a great message. I feel like you have some kind of hidden bet set up where you get paid however many times you get to say quantifiable for sure. Because if you're if you don't know,
Beat it.
we gotta play the clip at some point. But yeah, Nowhere has one of the funniest ITL montage quotes of all time, which is just I think it was when you played with the bar, right? Is that right? Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this was
Yeah, go for it.
first
Set it
set
up.
with the bar. The first time I got a bar was during ITL, and I didn't really understand how big of a difference it would make. And I'm always shouting while I'm playing, and anything exciting is gonna send me like over the moon. And I like was playing some nine, I think it was Ami, with a lot of burst, and just something clicked about foot speed, and I was like, oh, I can use this to like level up somehow, and just this is what why I stream. I love just being able to shout about a workout and make it something exciting for the moment because it is for me. It's so good. I love this game and I mean it. Like
It was so epic. Quantifiable differences.
yes. Like I save stream for like I give myself full permission to just be as extra as I possibly can. And it's so fun. Like, who doesn't want? Thank God I have patient neighbors. Let's just say that.
Same with all my pop offs. If you've ever you ever watched a demo video and then muted it before you got to the end, I understand and I apologize.
I never mute.
I tend to scream. I don't know. It's just like human emotion, dude. I don't know.
Seriously, it's
It's
a
fun. The
blast.
game is good.
Game's very good.
Imagine if you enjoyed something and enjoyed it like quietly or like did it or somehow like didn't emote during your enjoyment of the thing. I mean, it's like I
Are you
wouldn't.
enjoying it at that point?
Yeah, like I would just say. Yeah, I was just gonna say. I would just say you're not enjoying it. Like,
Oh, and you know the other thing is I think just to segue into some of the other like
please,
topic that I have here, we get to tie this like really emotional, like powerful moment of like feeling on cloud nine with exercise. And a big reason why I want to advocate for streaming helping that is like you're building up this like association of excitement with working out. That's so powerful. Like that's what's making me want to go back every time I want to stream and do this. That's what makes me like sad when I miss a stream. Like I don't know about y'all, but if you're like attached to this, it's that like feedback of working out and getting hyped about stuff that makes me not ever want to stop playing this game. It's kind of fascinating and like it helped me build healthier habits outside of the game. I think that the results and what happened with that determination set up a whole different view for me on how like my own health even works in my life. That's crazy. From a game? What do you mean? Like
from a game.
wild.
I mean, it is crazy. It is crazy.
Like I think that taking a healthy approach to um, what you have for the goals for your stream is like important too. Like one of the talking points I had here was you're trying to build healthy habits on camera, and it's a bit of a different context too. Like by jumping on this platform, and we have kind of a unique situation where as we get momentum, like people start listening to us, like we get a
Or
little
high
bit
scores.
more ears on like conversations. And yeah, and people start seeing like the accomplishments, and it's like I think it's really important to build a space on your stream that you're proud of showing to anybody and is like bringing something positive to a community. So for me, it's a lot about encouraging goofing off, keeping healthy habits. I talk about food so much, and like healthy eating habits are like not an easy thing, but it's so important to use this platform that we have when we're talking to like multiple people in a room to be like listening to what you say and being aware that like people may be getting into the game too. Like a lot of my like positive attitude is like amped up on stream, but I really love like talking to people about this game and showing people like that these habits that we build up can be like for everybody if you want to join in. And like the nature of talking to people on Twitch is also that we're in a public space. We're going to interact with a lot of different people. I haven't had a chance to talk to chat much about this, but I saw a couple messages about like you're going to see all kinds of people. People will be assholes. It happens. Uh, Having a strong community behind you that can help navigate that is important. Having your own idea of how you want to respond to that can start to evolve as you like stream, and like it's something that you should think about because I think people who like have a willingness to talk and have healthy life habits be part of the conversation are going to have people stick around more. I have genuine friends that I've gained like just being on stream and talking about like building up better workout habits. I've made friends talking about like, oh, the song really means a lot to me. I feel so like touched that we got to share this unique experience talking about a thing that we like. We have genuine emotional connections over a video game. Crazy. Like I want to foster that kind of community everywhere I go, and I think it's really important that it's just if you're going to stream, think about it. It's so important. And like healthy habits are hard to stick with, and if it's a group effort, we all can keep each other working out and like staying healthy and like fostering a really fun community. So
Well
a little
said.
nebulous of a topic, but still
No, I
like
love this topic. I totally agree with you. I'm a diabetic, and I've, to date, I have it in my Twitch profile, like, you know, over 125,000 raised for charities to date. Like that's really important. That's really important to me. And I think like I'm literally a part of the JDRF stream team. So it's like, this is why when you reached out and you're like, want to talk about healthy habits and how streaming like fits into that, like, hell yeah, dude. Cause it's like, I literally promote the JDRF cause on my channel by being a part of their team. And like, yeah, I don't know. AGDQ was a hell of an experience. Like I'm with you. Like, I think that like, I would love to talk about like concretely some of, explicitly some of these habits that maybe we share or have separate. But I think that like, I agree with you. Like are dance games and like the overall benefits of streaming versus the negatives. Like, yeah, I've had cyber
mm,
stalkers and like it's weird shit for sure, but I think it
yeah.
wholly outweighs like the negatives that you face. But yeah, I know we share a love of food and cooking. I got super into. I think I saw Hunter said. Yeah, Hunter said this in the chat earlier. I completely agree, Hunter. I'm 36 years old. Hunter said, I try to eat better and be more active so I can get better scores. Hunter, 100% aligned. For me, you know, I am type 1 diabetic, and I have been for half my life, 18 years. However, I am healthy. Like, I don't have any complications, and I'm not like overweight or whatever. So I'm taking care of myself, but I think that I do that specifically so I can quint 13s and 14s. Like, that's not, I'm not like, I don't give a about my cholesterol or anything. Like, I care about this game. So herd hunter, herd.
Seriously, I'm noticing the stamina increase as I like eat some healthy meals and like focus on cardiovascular health, man. And like, dude, cooking is just so fun too. It feels like another creative outlet. Like,
Yeah, so was your love there? Was your love for cooking there prior to dance games and getting into streaming and finding, the SM request community, all that, or did it come with, all the habit building that came with this habit built up?
so I really do enjoy cooking, but I approached it differently after the stream. Like, I have taught myself cooking. I don't really have any training, but I went from like zero knowledge to like I think this year my favorite meal that I cooked was tried Julia Child's beef bourguignon for the first time. Not the healthiest meal, but like
Yum.
I'm
A
getting
yummy
so
one.
into like the technical side of it and being able to cook like good healthy food feels like such a win. And like everything from like really great Indian food that is based in like beans and grains to like healthier proteins. Like I can tell during a set when I have not eaten well. And I had no idea how much that meant to me until I started working out. Like the healthy eating me can do the burst in a 12, and the unhealthy day I can barely clear disco pop 10. Like that's the kind of range that
Yep.
I feel in some small changes, mind you.
Yep.
Like I'm not like the healthiest ever, but it's so huge. And now I know that if I stick with this, I may see like a faster quantifiable gain.
There
Like,
it is again.
and I think that's important. And we also are playing a game that is like mentally taxing. I think it's important to have people boosting you up and get involved, but bit of a weird segue, but I see as people start to get into streaming, like I think it's tough to focus on numbers being the only focus. And I think we sit in kind of an interesting pocket in streaming where something like AGDQ feels so huge. Like you got there because you have one, the skill, two, the healthy habits to like make this conversation about a really positive thing. And three, it was never really about the numbers in the end. It was about this incredible experience that you got to bring to a huge crowd of people and talk about something you're passionate about. And
If I
I
may just
think
interrupt, real quick and just shout out, I owe a lot to the StepMania streamers before me. Stain, I'm not sure how to say their name, and Spooty and Ellie. They're really the real pioneers. I just kind of followed suit because Spooty wasn't doing it that year. So just want to be clear that there's a lot of precedent set prior to me. I'm not some special person that just came in and did stuff. But please
totally.
continue.
And
I just want to say, like, that's my editorial version.
no, it's
So
important because I've seen Spoody's showcase and the couple showcase with Elle, and they mirror a lot of the same stuff. Like they are also kindred spirits who like love this game, and
Super true.
it's not about self promotion really at that point.
Yep.
Like these are people who like in the eyes of this fundraising event, we're like, okay, they're really bringing the energy to the room that we want talking about this topic. And at the same time, we can have, I think all of these runs are like historic. They're incredible. Like people practiced for what I imagine was months to make this show something special. And like, that is so cool. Like that is what healthy habits can do. Like that perseverance snowballed into this incredible event. Like it pays to like stick with those principles, right?
Totally,
Like
totally. That was our take, at least my, it was my run, I guess, but like honestly the way that we talked about the couch, it was totally about like, okay, like at least my goal was to get people that could explain the game, right? And the couch, I hit arrows, but the couch like honestly did the run, right? Like they're the ones talking continuously. I just have to do what I do every other day of my life, which is hit arrows. So it's like I can do that. But yeah, I think that like the real, yeah, I agree, couch MVP, because it's like I chose very specifically, like I chose an OG who is recognizable and could ask real questions about like what the hell is going on here, or like why is Demo reading it this, or like what, right? And he's naturally commentator in Toph, right? Like great. And then like Telp knew the mods, stamina, and tech scene, and so like and is like just by nature is a very calm, articulate like person, very like patient, good teacher. And Vincent runs like the biggest event and like is literally like our developer for free, like helping us make tech a real thing that exists. So like who other than Sujit, I feel like those are the two dudes. Like it was either Vincent or Sujit, and I just kind of dice rolled I rolled a D2 basically. So yeah, I don't know, I think that like that I totally agree with you. Like I want nothing more. Like if people get nothing else out of this video, I want them to know that playing StepMania ITG and then thereafter streaming it on Twitch, YouTube, whatever you want, like pretty good choices right now, because it's like we are spoiled. All of us like folks are growing up, and we want to just like help and entertain and all these like words we've been throwing around with nowhere today, and like support, and just like this is the best game in the world, and like nowhere and I are not ever stopping, so like help keep us entertained. Like we're gonna
seriously.
keep wanting to make sim file packs, like we're gonna keep wanting to make
Yeah.
new stream content, and we're gonna keep wanting to make play other people's charts and amp those people up. So yeah, it's crazy. It's such a magical time right now, for ITG.
Like I think my this is a great question I think for you, Demo. My perspective is so limited on dance games as a whole. I entered into this 3 years ago with zero knowledge about any dance game. The modern era of like both tech and like stamina and DDR, I don't think you could be bored this year. It's impossible. There are countless styles of play and styles of content out there to try out. And people are really focusing on getting that entry ramp into this hobby to be accessible. Like, I do a little bit of this with my community with SM requests. We develop new player resources that point people towards websites, packs, all this stuff. Like, it is we're eating good. Like this is such a cool hobby, and if you have music that you enjoy, you'll either find like-minded people who are making content for it, or you can be that person and like make the pack because there are resources out there to get involved. I started as like zero background and I can't profess to making anything like super memorable, but I have so much fun making stuff for this game.
Oh yeah, big
Like
time.
it's
Yeah, big
so
time.
great. And I get involved with people who are talking about music theory in ways that I never would experience in my life. And it's all just a Pandora's box of like, if you want to learn something, if you want to be a student for the rest of your life, this hobby is great. Like, you can sink your teeth into any part of this. Like, a bit of a tangent, but like, I love our weird little Simfile contests. I do two a year. I get all of the like I want to make art for me stuff out of my system with that. I needed that project also to be part of streaming because it was an outlet that I missed so much in life. Like I think if you're feeling worn down a little bit with like the daily grind, setting these habits to be streaming, involved with the community, and social, even if online, are really, really fun and important and healthy. Like, I'm stuck inside a lot. I work at home. How else am I going to see people?
Same.
But it's so fun. Like, it's, I think it's healthy to also realize that we have not infinite time. I've hit some periods of doing this hobby where it's like, okay, I need to reevaluate. I'm getting overwhelmed. And it's taught me so much about how to manage energy and time that I have to give to the community. Like, I found myself working different in my day job. I found myself tackling things different, feeling more prepared everywhere. It just, I didn't think that the game would do this and streaming would do this, but it just helped focus things a little bit. It's a commitment that is so low stress if you want it to be, and so high stress if you want it to be that like I encourage you to try it if you're thinking about it, chat.
Yeah, back on that concept I mentioned like a bit ago, like on social facilitation. Like I'm definitely someone that you may be this type of person, but like you basically get better, like higher scores when people are watching. So I don't know, think back to like being at the arcade or whatever, like your partner, someone you have a crush on, whatever. I don't know, your parents even, like you just want to impress, your dad or something. I don't know, whatever. But the idea is like you play better when people are watching. And it's a phenomenon. It's been observed, like basketball and like some other sports, probably. I don't know. I remember the white paper I remember reading as like basketball as an example, probably. But it's like a thing. And that's like, I'm not going to lie. That is a big reason on why I stream. Because for me, being the best or trying to be the best is really fun. Paul usually doesn't make that possible, but it's okay. I love Paul, so he's great. And yeah, I think that that's there's always a bigger fish, which keeps it exciting and fun. And B, it's just like it's really the process. It's really the journey that's fun. And so we were talking about this earlier, like an hour ago. But yeah, I mean, I only really started streaming like 4 years ago. So it's like I don't know how long people who followed me in the past 4 years, like you followed me sometime in the last 4 years. The reason for that is because I wasn't streaming before that. So it's like I don't know. I think we're not a really big community. Um, and so I think it's like that's another reason why like when you get into it, it just feels like you're kind of instantly close to a lot of people, and makes it kind of like a nice little flywheel of
Totally.
dopamine and support.
Like when I was going through college, some of that community was facilitated by hobbies for me, but it just does feel kind of different. Like, because there are certain people that you can kind of count on to go and watch on like Twitch regularly, you start to recognize names. You start to really like. I have never before streaming played in an arcade, but I have now like had the pleasure of driving for like hours to go meet up with people who are like here from out of state that I'm like, hey, we've been hanging out online for years. Let's play in an arcade together. Like I've made so many good genuine connections that like I can't say enough like this game will always like make me smile. Like and talking about it and learning something new about it cuz like there's so much dance game out there, guys. You never can know everything, but it's fun to try.
Isn't that true? Yeah, isn't that true? So yeah, we also learned today that there's some Lua being learned to make mods content. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say
Yes.
who. Someone in this call. It's not me though. So, but yeah, I think that that's really cool too. I think I've been playing a lot of mods, and I love. I will play your content. I can't wait for that, especially because you
Hell
described it.
yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I've been loving again going back to like just like the journey of streaming from 0 people 4 years ago to now. There's 26 of you in here now, and that's like usual. Like my streams have like 20 to 30 people, and it's like it's amazing. It's like I don't know. I didn't have any expectations, but I just do this because yeah, I love it. I love this. This helped me socialize during COVID and get out of lots of like just social isolation funks that ruined
Serious.
all of our brains collectively as society, as humanity.
Like it's a lot of ups and downs like sitting at home and this felt like uh, a little bit of respite every time I jumped on stream. So
Huge.
like seriously. And like I can't believe there's 26 people. Like true to form, I haven't looked at this much, but thank you everyone in chat for hanging out.
I said it
Oh
because
my
I figured
god.
you had it hidden.
Yeah. I'm glancing now, but hello to everybody. Y'all rock. Oh,
I
man.
want to do a quick time check with you because we're about an hour. I do have a hard stop probably at 1:15. So is there any other questions you had for me or any other topics you wanted to discuss? Like I feel like we've covered some good points about like why we enjoy streaming and maybe like how we got started and stuff. But yeah, curious
Yeah.
to hear from you.
I think just as a wrap up, like I am very much open to like chatting with y'all about any of these topics offline and like I highly encourage you to jump into at least the ITC Discord if you're into tech. Uh, it's so fun to get started doing this stuff, and the whole reason I started this conversation with Demo was from talks in that chat. So, uh, highly encourage anyone who's here for this or watching later, jump in. Whether it's searching on like forums or Twitch itself or talking to people, someone's going to help you figure out how to start this streaming journey up like we've done and have fun with it. So, but time wise, I'm good to wrap
Awesome.
anytime close to 4:15. So,
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for saying that.
yeah.
Jenny's asking for if you have a Discord link, you can link it in the chat.
Oh, so I guess the one I'm most active in would be the SM Requests
That's what I figured.
Discord.
Yeah.
And it is smrequests.com. And we've got a Discord link on there. If you go to
I don't think you've seen, but I've been pulling it up in your yeah.
thank you, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
During
gonna
during the
say
video, yeah.
we run all of our community sim file packs off of this Discord server. We do Cafe Cursed around April Fools. It's a really goofy Simfile pack. I do a little bit of hosting for that and a Halloween based pack. We've got resources in there for trying out our SM request song request widget, which is labor of love from Zankara, Mr. Twinkles, and DDR Dave started out the project, so shout out to them. They're a big reason to why I streamed today, by the way. Zankara was one of the most kind streamers that I have had the pleasure of meeting, and really was patient and like giving their time to this project and the community at large. So it's well worth checking out. Highly encourage. And I stream twice a week, and you can find me at Nowhere Dance Club.
In the title
So
of the stream, you could just click it. You could click in the title of the stream, just click that name,
as
and then click follow if you don't already.
please come shout with me about dance games. We do it on the regular.
But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube at Nowhere Dance Club, I'll be sure it'll be in the description. So for sure. Yeah, you can find them nowhere. That's great. So you got a question: heavy mode, webcam, camera suggestions. I don't like my current setup. For me, I have a simple 3 bullet answer. Depends on your budget, right? So bullet one is the Logitech Brio, which is what I'm using right now. It does 1080 60. It's what I have 2 of in my garage. So I have a total of 3 of them, 1 for work and then 2 for my PC, ITG PC. So that's the first tier. It's about $100, $120. That's like minimum in my opinion. The next tier is a GoPro. You could do a million different things with a GoPro. I'm not going to go into it right now, but very high quality. And the last tier is a mirrorless or DSLR, which is like, I think what Flash has, Leon has, a couple other like really nice looking cameras. I don't know, whatever. It's the most expensive, but it's yeah. That's my 3 bullet kind of thing. I don't know if you have other thoughts. Nowhere.
Yeah. I feel like if production value aside, you can stream on what is basically a potato and still have a good time, I think. I have even gone as far as setting up phone as camera setups and had a good time with it. And if the tech is the barrier to entry, try and let that stop you less than getting on stream and playing. I think that's a great way to treat it. It's not going to be perfect, and it can change over time.
That's that's the better answer for sure. Also, if you are not super tech literate or it's like you don't keep up with like different tech changes, if you have this is a 3-year-old iPhone. If you have anything that is remotely like this, it is somewhere between 100 and 200 times better than whatever webcam you have. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if it's a Brio. It doesn't matter what it is. Your phone camera is hundreds of times better quality. So there's like, yeah, I might look for some of these and put them in the description of the YouTube video, but there are some different ways where you can connect your phone to OBS, which is the de facto tool for doing streams. It's free, OBS, open broadcasting. But yeah,
Elgato has a free app that
Elgato has
lets
a free
you,
app. Great.
yeah. So that I've used to great effect, and it even like has Bluetooth connectivity, like wild.
Sick.
We live in a age where you can really just stream from anywhere. It's wild. So yeah, but
Awesome.
happy to answer any other questions if there are
Yeah.
anything in chat. But
Yeah, we can chill for like another 30 seconds a minute. I don't super mind, but yeah, big thanks to you again for DMing me like on this topic of like streaming and just showing up. And I think it's hopefully people feel motivated to stream or stream more. I don't know, but yeah, thank you. And it was really great meeting you. And well, I know of you, and I watch you, but yeah, speaking to you, I don't know what to say. Face to face.
I appreciate it all the same. Thank you. I appreciate the chance to talk to everyone in chat too. Seriously, it's I want nothing more than to be a cheerleader for this game we all enjoy. So, you know,
Hell yeah.
thank
That's a
you.
great note to end on right there. Thanks everyone. I will raid someone who is streaming now, like perhaps Nick or Zankara. Actually, we're just talking about Zankara. Why don't we raid Zankara? And yeah, have a great rest of your week, everybody. I will probably be streaming ITG on this channel later today. Thanks, Nowhere.
Thanks, Dimo.